Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is another day of Ragnarok, and today we are in Barkingham Palace. Why? Because we are going to be covering the newest and probably the most important reagent in the game right now, Royal Brooch. And Royal Brooch right now is the current pity reagent for the brand new Barkingham Chronicles update. Now, there is several things you can get with it, but there's really only one good thing. You see this guy here, Captain Dartmouth? We're going to talk to him, and we're going to open his brand new tab that just opened up here, the gear and pet trading. Now, this is where the current new Barkingham gear can actually, be crafted, be traded. However, this gear's not that great because you lose resist. All of it. So if you're willing to be a glass cannon who can hit with shadow spells, go for it, but otherwise, other gear templates are much better. The grand prize, however, are the Potbellies, the pets. If you remember the Skeletorian pets from the Aquila Chronicles, it's basically the same system. Basically. And by basically, I mean it's completely the same system. Except instead of the Skeletorians, it is Potbellies, which is Martybone themed. Makes sense. So, as you can see here, this golden ball here, that is the Royal Brooch. And you actually can only get this here in Barkingham Palace, specifically. Whether it is from the side boss here, whether it's from the state wing, whether it's from the main hall, or whether it's from the rooftop. Now, when it comes to Royal Brooch, there are, those locations are all the ways to get the stuff. However, I'm going to tell you now, there is no best location to get the Potbelly because each different place here in Barkingham all drop different ones. Now, I haven't went out of my way to go and see where they all drop. Somebody else might have a guide on that. If not, I'll look through and update you later. But I've been farming this, which is the side boss, because, well, the Potbelly that I need comes from here. This also happens to be the easiest fight to do. So, the monster, the Mr. Frankenstein man, that guy, he drops these Storm and Death Potbellies. But I will tell you, and I did learn this after doing some research and doing some time in this content, the best way to get Royal Brooches, if you only care about Royal Brooches, if you do not care about the Potbellies, the best way is to do this monster fight in challenge mode. And the reason why is because it is a single fight sigil. The main hall is a full dungeon, the rooftop is a full dungeon, and the state wing is a multi-fight dungeon. So you have to go through those full dungeons to get the Royal Brooches, where this guy, you only have to fight him and him alone. Well, sort of. He has cheats where he can spawn minions. Now, how to do this efficiently, I'm not going to do a fight, but I'm going to show you real quick. If I go into challenge mode, where it turns the sigil red and everything, I'm just going to show you guys what you would want to do. So let's get inside here real quick. So with this guy, so if you did the side quest, you had to pick up 7 different notes that were spread across Martybone. And knowing that, you then have to bring the notes and put them into this book here, the collected notes. Now, when you interact with this, you're going to see 7 different notes that you can select. And you can select all of them, or you could just select whatever ones you want, or you could choose to select none at all. But the best strategy, if you want to do this as efficiently, as quickly as possible, is to use notes 5, 6, and 7. The reason why is because of the fact that with those particular notes specifically, that one has the fastest strategy because of the way this boss works. The way this boss works is if he dies when he's on his own, you win. But if he dies when there's a minion alive, or if he dies in the same turn as the minions, he will then resurrect himself with 33% health. So he has to die on his own when he's the only guy in the fight that turn. Because you can't just AoE all the minions and then you win. It just doesn't work like that. And the reason why you want to do notes 5, 6, and 7 is because he actually does not spawn minions until the end of turn 3. And the best strategy for that is to basically, you have to pass on turn 1 because he does have a force pass on turn 1 for the most part. Turn 2, you also want to have most of your people pass except for one who casts a bubble. Turn 3, you basically want to set up the gambit and hit in the same turn. Or if you don't quite have that strategy, if you don't have access to some of that stuff, you could just kind of buff for a couple of turns. Sort of. Well, not really, because I think challenge mode, he bans blades, so it's kind of complicated. If you want the strategy of how to kill this quickly, go watch Nerdy Birdie's latest video about how to kill the monster in challenge mode. That's basically the strategy that is the most efficient for Royal Brooch. And the reason why challenge mode is because, well, not only do you get more spell limits in challenge mode, it's like 25% more. Something like that. It's not double like Aquila, which is an L. It's like 25% more. But you also get more Royal Brooches on top of it. You might get like 5 or 6. Standard, you get basically double in challenge mode. So make sure you find a team. Use a strategy that's like a 3-turn strategy, if possible. And just farm the ever-living shit out of this guy. This guy's the easiest and fastest way to get Royal Brooch if you only care about the Royal Brooch. If you care about the certain Potbellies, then other fights and other dungeons will be serving you much better. Because if you want the certain pet, you gotta do the certain dungeons. This guy's just the fastest for Royal Brooch overall. And with that, that is basically how you get Royal Brooches, is just do the Barkingham content today. Now, if you want to do spell limits, this fight is also the fastest way to do it, because of the same strategy. In challenge mode, you're automatically scaled down to level 40 and can only use level 40 or lower spells. Stuff like that, with those restrictions. If you're a standard mode farmer, then you have to use the Scales of Knowledge, which would be sitting about right here, over here on the left side here. You have to use those, scale yourself down, still make your level 40 deck. It's just stuff like that. But notes 5, 6, and 7 are the best because he doesn't spawn minions for the first 3 turns. As long as, well, he's alive. Now, if he dies on that 3rd turn, they don't spawn, you win the fight. So there you go. That is the fastest method to getting Royal Brooch so that you can actually take advantage of the pity system. And now I'm going to explain why you want these Potbellies. So the reason why you want the Potbelly specifically is because of the fact that you need that pet as 1/2 of making the current most overpowered / meta pet of the game as of now, which is July 2026. Things could change a year or 2 down the line, but as of now, these pets are meta. Because what you need is you need the Potbellies. You then need these pets from this pack, the Barkingham Chronicle pack, which fortunately, these are not exclusive, so you are able to get the bodies from somebody else. These dogs right here. These are not exclusive, which means you are in fact allowed to hatch to try and get this body. Which is good news. The Potbellies are exclusive. You can never hatch and get that body back. Unless you happen to like try and go for like something else and fail. Like if you have the pet yourself, like if you have a Potbelly yourself, you can fail and get your Potbelly back. But yeah, so you basically need any of these puppies depending on the combination. Now, if I remember, I'm going to try to put every single combination on screen in this video, because you need the right Potbelly to go with the right puppy to get the right hybrid. And the hybrids are the Potbellies. And the Pupbellies are basically the robo-dogs. And with that in mind, the Potbellies are the meta pet of the game because they give a 65% trap, which is specific to that school. In which, in case, that makes the balance one universal, because all their buffs are universal for the most part. Now, balances is a 55% hazard. It's not as powerful, but it's universal. Any hitter can use it, and it probably does stack with a school specific. So keep that in mind. Now, knowing this, that means that trap stacking is huge now. And on top of it, these hazard cards are allowed in PvP, they're allowed in advanced combat, and they're allowed in raids. So that means that you have no excuse to not get this if you want to be an ultimate min-maxer. If you're one of the min-maxers who wants every last drop of strength and power for your wizard and your team, these pets are the pets for it now. So because we're still kind of early, depending on when this drops, right now hatches are relatively cheap because not a lot of people have good talents on their Potbellies just yet. But a couple of months down the line, people are going to eventually get their talents transferred over, and then it's going to, go back up to normal price. Normal price being 100k a hatch. So take advantage of this as soon as possible to try and get yourself the body, even if you can't get the talents right away. Now, with these royal brooches, you can get the Potbellies, and you want to make sure you get the right one. Now again, check back at an earlier point in the video, and you should see each combination in the game. Which shout out to a guy named Thomas, who is a viewer of the channel, for providing the sheet that is also in my Discord. So if you want to see the sheet, if you want to save this sheet, go into the link tree in my description. Join my Discord server. And the sheet is in my pet stuff channel in my Discord. And you're going to see the cheat sheet that shows you which hybrid can make what. Well, not really which hybrid, but which combination can make what hybrid. And what you need for it. So, yeah. If you want to just have the sheet so you don't got to keep looking at the video every time, yeah, join the server. Because we are actively trying to build our puppies so that we can do different content throughout the game. But that is how you get the royal brooches. You basically just do these dungeons based on what Potbelly you want. And there you go. Again, if you only care about royal brooch and not about the Potbellies, do the monster. But if you care about the right Potbelly, then make sure you go and find the correct Potbelly for you. And another side note, you get about 25% more spell limits, you get about 25% more royal brooches, and your chance to get a Potbelly also increases in challenge mode. Yeah, we found that out. In challenge mode, the drop rates for the Potbellies is a little bit higher. I can't say significant because I've done close to 100 runs of the monster, about 40 of them in challenge mode, and did not even get one. So it is still low either way. But I recommend challenge mode so that you can maximize your resource gain and maximize your chances of getting a Potbelly. And that goes for every dungeon. So hopefully this helps a little bit. And hopefully this helps you get the current best pet in the game. If you found this helpful, hit that like, hit that comment, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 1,000 subs for the first time in our lives. Join that link tree in the description below. Go to my socials, go to my Discord. We can hang out, and that is where the pet cheat sheet will be for this update. And until next time, my name is Tier, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good night.